from CatherinePuller.com, and today I have a kiss card for you. Here is the card we're making today. It's a fall card and a great one for masculine, for the guys in our lives. Be sure to stay tuned to the end because I will have a link for you at the end so you can see other kiss cards in this series. If you like this and want more, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I have lots of videos going up all the time, so hope you enjoy this card. We're going to start with our 8.5 by 11 cardstock, scored in half at 5.5 and cut it at 4 1/4. We're going to do that with 2 sheets. This makes the base for 4 cards. For the top layer on the card, we're cutting off 3/4 of an inch from the side. So 4 1/4 is half, and I want 3/4 of an inch less than that, so that's 3.5. I'm going to cut that with both sides, and then I'm going to line these up. I'm doing 2 at once, and 5.5 would be half, and again I want to take off 3/4 of an inch, so 4 3/4, 4 3/4, and now I have my 2 layers. We're going to set these aside as we work on the main stamped focal point. This is going to knock your socks off, so get ready. This is called the thumping technique. First thing I'm going to do is ink my stamp in brown sugar. I did a light patting of the brown sugar, but then a little bit more on the tree trunk. And then I'm going to take some markers. I have pumpkin pie, and I'm thumping with the edge of my marker. Make sure you don't thump with the tip because that will destroy your tip and make it all squishy and frayed and yucky, and it'll make you sad. So just thump with the side of your marker. And then Stampin' Up's ink is made to dry quickly, so by the time you're done, this may be a little bit dry, so you're just going to huff on it and stamp, and look at that gorgeousness. On this next one, I want to get a little bit more color in there, so I'm going to make sure I add more color to my tree with these markers. And that got some more color. Just going to do these last 2 trees here. Thumping with your markers is a definite wow factor, so I encourage you to add this technique to your rubber stamping technique arsenal so that you can wow your friends. Now we're just going to cut these out with the Big Shot and the circle framelits. I'm going to do all 4. If you have a large circle punch, of course that will work as well. I have my 4 card bases, my 4 layers, and my 4 stamped images. I need some designer series paper, so that will be my next step. I'm using the sweater weather paper, which is really fun. This has like a sweater texture to it. And I'm going to cut out a 4 by 4 inch square. Out of 2 different patterns. Actually, I'm just going to cut this one at 4. Now, I want 2 different widths, so I'm going to do 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, and 1 inch. And then on contrasting color, I'm going to do 1/2 inch strips. Half, 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 and half. The easiest way that I find to mass produce cards is to do each step step by step by step. So what I mean by that is take all of my little layers here that I'm going to be gluing on, and I'm going to lay them out, and I'm going to do my adhesive on all of them. So if I add my adhesive, put my adhesive down, add my layer, pick up my adhesive, add it to the layer, add my layer, that takes a little bit of extra time. So in my opinion, I think adding all your adhesive at once and then doing it layer by layer is the best and most quick way to do this. Most quick, is that maybe not exactly grammatically correct. Now the next step in the process is to stamp the greeting. I'm using a photopolymer stamp by Stampin' Up. It's the Many Thanks stamp set. I love photopolymer stamp sets. I really should do a video on that and why I love them, because I think I'll convince you to love them too. But it's another thanks stamp set, a generic thanks greeting, which is always something you need. But you can also think about adding a happy birthday, a thinking of you. There are so many different greetings that you can use on this card. And it's a great masculine card too. You know, we're always looking for masculine cards. I get asked a lot to show them. So the next step is just adding these dimensionals. And like I was explaining on the designer series paper, I don't think I explained it very eloquently, but step by step by step. So all the dimensionals, putting them on there first. Now I'm going to put down my dimensionals. I'm going to peel the backs off. And then I'm going to add them to the card fronts. Now if you're a big card maker, you might find these all over the place. If you're like me, I find them in crazy spots in my house, which always cracks me up. Now my last step is to add this stamped piece to each card front. Watch how quickly this is going to be done. Just a little bit of liquid glue on each piece and pop each one into place. Now imagine the same card layout with a snowflake or a birthday cake or a flower. And my tree circles went over a little bit, so I'm just going to snip those off. In just a matter of minutes, we have these 4 great cards that are ready to wow your friends. If you guys enjoyed this tutorial, be sure to hop over to katherinepooler.com and get on my newsletter list if you haven't already. Every or almost every Wednesday, an exclusive project goes out just to subscribers to teach you more wonderful things about card making. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what kind of stamps you think you would put in this stamped image part and what kind of cards you are inspired to make. And if you like it, give me a thumbs up and share it with your friends on Facebook. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Happy stamping.